Just days removed from the S1GP season finale, the world's premier 450cc Supermoto riders have travelled from Belgium to Italy for the 2023 Supermoto of Nations. Lombardy is our destination for this weekend, one of the most vibrant parts of Italy, with glorious architecturally wondrous cities, arts and culture in abundance, and thousands of years of history. The area is fascinating to visit and explore. That goes beyond the cities and towns, of course. Since this is northern Italy, mountains and ski slopes are also on the agenda, in addition to stunning countryside of the non-alpine variety. Riders from around the world are here this weekend, and many of them have delayed their return flight to take this all in. Castelletto di Branduzzo. Often considered to be one of Europe's best supermoto facilities, it's a demanding, unique layout that will challenge first-timers and locals alike. This weekend is all about the battle between nations, so let's say bonjour, good day and howdy to our track guides.
So here we are at the entrance to the Sky section here at Castelletto di Branduzzo. This part of the track is really difficult to learn because you come from a very high-speed third and fourth gear straightaway into a really tight left-hand corner here where you have to take a really late apex, get through the bumps, and come through here on the far side of the track so you can set yourself up to carry as much corner speed as possible to make it through the next couple jumps in this section. Getting through here quickly is really important because there's a lot of small bumps coming out, and if you set yourself up to come through with speed, you'll be able to carry a lot more speed over the jump and you have some good style over the tabletop.
Hey guys, we're here at the exit of the dirt section where we transition from the dirt back to the pavement. Here's a very tricky part of the circuit where you can lose and gain a lot of time. As we transition from the dirt back to the asphalt, as you can see, we carry a lot of debris off the dirt back onto the pavement. And here is where you can lose a lot of time. Coming in too fast, you're gonna brake too heavy, you're gonna tuck the front, you're gonna get on the gas, you're gonna crash. You're so patient here because here, when you come in slow, you come out fast, onto this exit, we transition to the start-finish line, and here is where you win and lose races.
We are here in the exit of the Sky section of Castelletto. We exit to the left banking corners with a jump, and we come here with two lines. The faster is inside because you can jump on the grass and go on this bump so faster, and after take this corner full gas and exit the Sky section perfectly.
Well, they've taken a walk. How about a ride then? Josh McLean, Steve Bonnell and Nicky Reimer. Give us a hot lap. Quite a long circuit, but it starts with a short front straight, almost immediately into the first left-hander, almost a double apex. You're turning and braking at the same time, and you've got to square up, try not to take too much curb there, coming out of the first proper braking zone. You're then into this flowing section, long corner after long corner. It gets longer pretty much with each apex here. And it gets faster and faster too. Now speeding up a little bit more before this braking zone. Ask Thomas Scharrer and Mark Reiner-Schmidt about what happens at this pinch point if you get too close for comfort. Around the oval section of the circuit, now a little bit more banking. You really pick up the speed here. And it all leads into quite a deep braking zone before the circuit centrepiece. The unique Sky section, paved, very tricky as well. As you can see, it is possible to run side by side, but only just. This is very much narrower than the rest of the circuit. A couple of bumps on the apexes as well, which can really unsettle you if you get them just an iota wrong. It's so important to be online through this section. Just now coming back out onto the main part of the circuit. One last bump to contend with that you can basically slingshot across if you get it right. Now back onto the wider surface. Good overtaking opportunity here at this left-hand hairpin. And then a slight change from what we've seen recently, a slightly different chicane. Rather than taking the paved chicane to your right, you now take that tyre chicane, which gives us a longer straight before heading on to the dirt once again. And as Nicky Reimer demonstrates for us, quite treacherous there at times as well, especially if it's been raining, if it's gotten rutted. As you can see, the surface is a little damp at the moment. Quite a nice wide dirt section, not too many jumps. You can pick up some speed. You can do some physical racing as well. We've seen some elbows out action here in the past. A bit of a step down as you head back onto the concrete and the tarmac here. Also so treacherous with it being dirty through this section, quite easily can get unsettled. Now just a couple of corners left to go. This last 90-degree right-hander signals the completion of your lap here at Branduzzo. On Nations Weekend, each team's trio of riders are kept busy on Saturday by the qualifying races. Steve Bonnell took a dominant victory in the Ryder Group 1 qualifying race using the number 1 plate. He was originally slated to be in the junior team for France, but moved up to replace the injured Thomas Charret. Further back, former European champion Luca Diodato of Italy was scrapping with Austria's Rudolf Bauer and Belgium's Roman Kuivers for third, only to drop to 8th, owing to a noise test failure for his TM. Bonnell won, and Sitnianski took P2.
I won for the friends, and I'm so happy, and that's my teammate do the same.
Ryder Group 2 saw Nicolas Cousin in the French jersey, looking to further solidify the 11-time Nations winners as favourites. He had to fight the likes of Austria's Andreas Buschberger, seen there in second place, and Italy's Fabrizio Bartolini. But the young number 2 rider would hold on to victory in his first racing action of the weekend.
My race qualification is very good fight.
Ryder Group 3 featured brand new FIM Supermoto vice champion Lukas Hullbacher, this weekend running without the challenge of Mark Reiner Schmidt, who sadly had to sit out the Nations event thanks to injury and surgery. Austria's Hullbacher instead had to duel with Elia Sammartin of Italy, who came out on top after Hullbacher crashed, recovered to the lead, and then celebrated a lap too early at the end of the race, handing a victory to Sammartin quite by accident.
I see Lucas crashing the sky section. I push all my lap, and amazing. I'm very happy.
The big day was finally upon us, with all eyes on serial Supermoto of Nations winners France at the opening ceremony. Teams from 15 nations and 3 continents were set to compete for glory.
Veramente bocca al lupo a tutte le nazioni, ovviamente vinca il migliore. Thank you all for being here, and I wish you all the best for today.
With Charret absent, could France win the 2023 Supermoto of Nations? Race 1 of the weekend, and it is Steve Bonnell on pole position alongside Bauer and Diodato for this first race. This is for riders Group 1 and 2. The top 15 on the grid will be Group 1 riders, so watch out for the fast Group 2 riders like Cousin, Buschberger, Avia and Fiorentino as they fight their way through the pack. The first of 3 Supermoto of Nation races begins then, and the start goes to Bauer. Very good start from Rudy Bauer as everyone makes their way through. Oh, and Ryder down on the very first lap. That looked to be one of the Portuguese machines. Roman Kuivers, meanwhile, running in the top half dozen in 6th place. That's Carlos Marquez on the 41 that has gone down on the first lap of the race, but manages to get the bike back up. It's a good start, however, for Rudy Bauer, the 2023 Austrian Supermoto champion who fought hard for the title with Andreas Buschberger. Nicolas Cousin closing in. I think that's Raoul Schupp, and Raoul saying, well, go past me if you don't mind, dangling the leg out there. Nicolas Cousin getting through and moving up the order. He was a Group 2 rider, down in, I think, 16th, 17th place he started. It would have been 16th place for him. Steve Bonnell running P2 behind the 64. Oh, never mind. They've changed. Steve Bonnell has got himself up into the lead, so Rudy Bauer down to second place for the time being. Has to be mindful of that number 7 behind. Diodato, former Open champion in European competition going back to the late 2000s. However, it looked to me, yes indeed, we've had a change of position. So Diodato now in second. And we might have had an error from the number 64 machine. Unfortunately, Bauer not there anymore. Steve Bonnell, meanwhile, in that colour scheme, on a TM with the number 1 plate. It's very 2020 vintage Thomas Charret, isn't it? Of course, Steve Bonnell up in the senior team for France to fill in for the injured Thomas Charret. As we ride on board, let's talk to you a little bit about the format here. Roman Kuyvers following one of the Spanish riders there, and Kuyvers getting through, moving up a position. The format here, 3 races, 2 riders from each nation in every race, each position worth a point, and the lowest scoring nation will win the event. So it's 1 point for first, 2 for second place, and so on. The worst score from each nation will be dropped at the conclusion. 6 scores, of course, across the 3 races. Nicolas Cousin on the number 2, having a great scrap there with the number 50. It's very to and fro between them. Julian Avia trying to get his elbows out. Avia, the 2023 Spanish Supermoto champion. And a wonderful gold helmet decked out for that occasion. Meanwhile, we ride on board again with Cousin taking the outside line there. Manages to get himself up. Nice riding from Nicolas Cousin. Of course, for him, it's such a critical job that he's doing as the number 2 rider, as the rider that started in the second half of the field. To get there back towards podium contention is huge for France's chances. Meanwhile, at the sharp end of the order, there goes Steve Bonnell. Bonnell with a great result there. It's a victory for Steve Bonnell. That'll give points to France in a big way. Luca Diodato in second place. Milan Sitnianski, Nicolas Cousin and Roman Kuyvers rounding out the top 5. Julian Avia ending up in 6th place.
It was a good race. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick. So it was a good race. I started second behind Austria, and I passed in second laps and make my way. Take a gap to win 3 seconds, and I run like this. I watch the guy behind. I watch my teammate foresee his place. So now it's cool. We win the first race for France. Is the best way. Nicolas finished fourth, so it's perfect way.
A bit poorly, but very pacey. Just 5 points on the board for France. After the first race, Italy and Czech Republic tied on 14 apiece in second and third. But still 2 races to go at the Supermoto of Nations. It's always a great time at the Supermoto of Nations. The paddock is a real melting pot of the global Supermoto community, and for fans at Castelletto, there was even some 4-wheeled action too. The teams are finding a healthy balance of work, rest and play, as we now take a look at the rest of their day. Race 2 of the weekend, Sylvain Bidard, Lucas Hurlbacher and Elias Sammartin creating a very competitive front row of the grid. The likes of Julian Avia will be coming from further back, but the 2023 vice champion starting from the middle of the front row. He's got the 8-time French Supermoto champion Sylvain Bidard to contend with though, and it is the number 3 of Bidard that goes through. as I just mentioned, 8-time champion in France in Supermoto. Sylvain Bidart, absolutely no slouch. He's going to test Lucas Höllbacher, as is this man, Elias Samartin, in 3rd position. Of course, Höllbacher scored a bit of an own goal in the qualifying races, thought the race ended early. Elias Samartin capitalised and took a qualifying race win over the 2023 vice champion in the FIM Supermoto World Championship. You ride on board with Nicolas Cousin. Oh, and a bit of a pinch point there between Cousin and Bronson Pierce. Bronson Pierce of the United States, trying to keep the Frenchman at bay. Pierce on the 57. Of course, a winner now in the AMA Supermoto Championship, scored his first win this year, the American racer. You see there Lucas Höllbacher dangling that leg, trying to keep balance on what is a very treacherous dirt section, and Elias Samartin has gotten past him. Samartin knows this track well, of course. Team Italy looking to capitalise on home field advantage this year. It means so much to them to be hosting the nations in their home country. Oh, goodness me. Bidart there just with a snap under acceleration, and Elias Samartin dives to the inside. Very nicely done by Elias Samartin. He gets through into the lead then. And not only has he gotten through, but of course Cousin, or rather I should say Bidart, has fallen back behind Lucas Höllbacher as well. So Höllbacher in 2nd place now, Bidart in 3rd place. Of course, this means a low score for Italy, who are currently 2nd. Austria have a bit more work to do. Nicolas Cousin in 9th place, following one of the Belgian competitors there. That was the number 14 machine, being campaigned by Romeo Fiorentino, of course. Fiorentino and Cousin. Oh, goodness me, they make contact there. Cousin really getting beaten around the bush a little bit here. He's having a difficult time in the traffic. He got overtaken there by the number 51 of Ferran Cardu. Having another go now at Fiorentino as Cousin on the number 2. Gets it done on that occasion. Cousin certainly not being afforded any opportunities easily. Elias Samartin, though, oh, up the inside goes Lucas Höllbacher. You saw Samartin hesitate out of committing to the corner there, realised that Höllbacher was coming. And the world's fastest Baker to the front. Höllbacher, of course, the only one of the Championship 3 this season in the World Championship that's with us for the Nations event. Both Charrer and Schmidt were scheduled to be here, but unfortunately injuries preventing them from participating. Nicolas Cousin making his way up to 5th position. So again, this is critical for France. They've got 2 in the top 5. Lucas Höllbacher, though, taking a win for Austria. I'm sure that will mean a lot to him. On his 66 machine, he scores the singular point. Samartin, Bidart, Avia and Cousin. Your top 5, Ferran Cardu making it 2 in the top 6 for Spain as well.
We are very unlucky with the team from Austria, because Buschberger was crashed in the warm-up and discolated his shoulder and stuff like this. He had a lot of pain and did the first race, so we do our best for the overall team positions, and yeah, let's do it another one. 1st place, and with Rudi a good another result in the last race. Thank you.
It's a shame to hear then that unfortunately it's a man down at the Austrian team. France, though, still have the advantage. It looks as though they may be en route to victory number 12 in the Nations. Time for the final race then. Can France hold on? Bidart and Bommel representing them at the sharp end of the grid. What about Spain? What about Italy? Certainly Spain have their work cut out for them, just 7th on the grid after poor performances in qualifying. So potentially Italy could move up to 2nd place in this final race as well. The last race of the 2023 Nations begins, and it is Steve Bonnell with a great start once again. Bonnell leading as we ride on board with Elias Sammartin. He's got Bidar in front of him. He's got Hellbacker there as well. The Portuguese riders off track just next to him. Patrick Powles of Estonia on the number 31. Side by side and almost cutting off Elias Sammartin there. Trying to go around the outside of the American competitor as well on the number 55. That was Sean Butterman. Roman Kivers just behind the number 7 machine. That is being ridden, of course, by Luca Diodato. Diodato up there at the sharp end once more. He wants to make up some progress, try and salvage second place for Italy. Going up the inside there of Rudy Bauer, the Austrian rider. Bauer losing a place then. Maybe make it 2 because Kivers having a look to the inside. Belgian racer has put in quite the shift this season on the world stage. It's been really exciting to see his progression. They'd love to have a good result in the Belgian camp. Steve Bonnell it is that leads the way though. Bonnell and France on course to secure win number 12 in the Nations for the French team. However, look who's behind. Milan Sitnianski for the Czech Republic on the number 52, certainly keeping Steve Bonnell occupied at the moment. And Ferran Cardu has done a very good job to get himself up into 3rd place. The first of the Spanish riders, it's critical that Cardu and Gaia have a good result here to try and hold on to 2nd place up against the Italian racers on their home turf. Lucas Hellbacker, he's moving up through the pack. He's gotten past Rudy Bauer, who started ahead of him, his fellow Austrian, and now he gets through into 3rd place. Lucas Hellbacker, can always rely on him to be quick. And this weekend proving to be no exception. Of course, he had an injury in the summer break in the World Championship as well, but he seems to have fully recovered from that. Elias Sammartin down in 9th place. He needs to get scrappy and work his way through the pack, make it 8th place. He's following the number 13 of Roman Kivers. Over the bumps and jumps they go. And look at the lead being built by the number 1, Lucas Hellbacker, going hunting for 2nd place. He's gotten past Milan Sitnianski, so Lucas Hellbacker up into P2. Of course, the combined points of all 3 riders matter in the nation, so even if Hellbacker gets this win, even though he has been extremely strong this weekend, it guarantees nothing for Austria, given their current position. It looks as though Cousin and France should do enough. Here comes Hellbacker though. And he's gotten through into the lead. Lucas Hellbacker is your leader. Real commitment there onto the dirt. Hellbacker, a man with no threshold for fear, I don't think. Meanwhile, Rudy Bauer, the other Austrian, under pressure from Elias Sammartin. Sammartin making up places. He's up to 5th place. As it stands, I think Italy are doing enough here to secure the runner-up spot in the Nations event overall. Cousin certainly doing enough, as is Sylvain Bidard for Italy. Lucas Hellbacker, though, will make it 2 wins from his 2 races in the Supermoto of Nations. Great effort from Hellbacker, but the biggest celebrations are in the French camp. They've done it. Steve Bonnell with 2 points. Sylvain Bidard down in 8th, scoring 8 points, but that's enough. Cardu in 4th position. However, Gaia didn't have that good of a race. Look at the Italians in 5th and 6th. They will take the runners-up positions. There's confirmation. 15 points only for France as they sew up the 12 nations. Italy, Spain, Germany, Austria, the Czech Republic, Belgium, Switzerland, Estonia, and the United States are your top 10 nations. Couldn't quite hold on to P2, but the Team Spain of Cardu, Avia and Gaia can head back to the Iberian coasts with smiles on their faces. Sammartin, Diodato and Bartolini taking 2nd place on home turf. That will be a huge feeling for them to be on their podium in the signature Italian blue. But Bonnell, Cousin and Bidard have proven once again that the Moto France team, the French team, are undisputed. Giovanni Coppioli, the Italian Motorcycle Federation, presenting the trophy to Team France. Thomas Charret has, of course, been on hand to help them through this weekend. FIM CMS Director Antonio Elia Portella on hand to give them the gold plates. And there we see the medals presented to the 2023 champions, 9 in a row for Team France.
We are just so happy because we won and we won with Thomas, so it's perfect. I think every team doesn't know that, so we are just happy for all the friends, for all the staff. So thank you everyone, and vive la France! Vive la France!
Well, without Thomas Charret, it certainly wasn't a guarantee that France would continue their stranglehold on the Supermoto of Nations, but the efforts of Steve Bonnell, Nicolas Cousin and Sylvain Bidard have proven to be enough. They leave Italy as nations champions again, but the competition getting stronger each year, Supermoto going more global each year. Team France will have to fight for 13.